Good afternoon. My name is Mike Deslip, and we're here today to talk about using the Opteka RC4 with any infrared-ready Canon camera. The RC4 is the most simplistic of devices. For all practical purposes, it's an infrared light switch, and consequently, it only has two demands of you. One, the camera must accept an infrared signal for operation, and two, in the case of the RC4, the signal must be compatible with Canon's specifications. That being accomplished, the RC4 will work with any Canon camera with infrared capability. For those people who worry if they do something wrong that they'll damage their equipment, rest assured it is physically impossible for the RC4 to damage your camera equipment in any way, shape, or form. It is possible for you to damage the RC4. The biggest danger would be installing the battery backward, but the battery tray is designed to make sure that doesn't happen. And even if you manage to get it in that way, the 3-volt battery and the particular diode used in this piece of equipment is unlikely to be damaged if that should happen in your case. The one thing that could definitely damage the diode is that the tray that holds the battery is capable of holding more than one size of battery. And in this case, a CR2016 is half the size of a CR2032. If you try to stack two CR2016s together, they will be in series and will form a 6-volt charge instead of the 3 volts the unit is designed to run on, and 6 volts could potentially damage the diode that's in the RC unit. Feel free, however, to use one CR2016 or a 2025 or a CR2032 battery. They are all interchangeable in this unit. And the 2016 will give you about 65% of the life of a 2025, and the 2032 will give you about 1.3 times the life. And the CR2032 is generally a less expensive battery because of its prevalence in the marketplace. The unit will come with a plastic protector to keep from draining the battery during transit, shipping, and storage. Remove the plastic protector and reinsert the battery, positive side matching the plus sign on the tray, and slide the tray back into the RC4 unit until it clicks. There's a small catch on the tray that must be compressed to remove the tray, and it must be snapped back into place when being reinstalled to secure the tray. When viewing the RC4 from the top, the catch should be on the right-hand side. If it doesn't snap back in place, you do stand a danger of the battery compartment and battery falling out, and you could suffer loss, or the unit will just simply stop working. The RC4 has an infrared sensor in one end. That sensor is a line-of-sight device and must be pointed directly at the infrared sensor on your camera. The two devices must have an unimpeded path for them to work properly. The location of the IR sensor on the camera varies by model, but it is usually under the shutter release on the grip. Don't worry, you won't need to use the grip because you're using the remote. The photo on the right shows the Canon EOS 70D with an infrared sensor immediately below the shutter release. After you're done setting up the remote and understand what you're going to have to do to use it, you must set up the camera. There isn't much to do, but you must change the drive mode. As you can imagine, each camera model has a different way of getting there. In the case of the two cameras I'm using for this demo, the Canon Rebel T2i has 4 cross keys on the back. Turn on your camera and press the left cross key. It will most likely already be set to single shooting mode. Press the left or right cross key until the self-timer/remote control is selected, and then press the set button. That's it. The camera is now configured for use. If you happen to have the EOS 70D, press the drive button that is on the top, just above the upper control panel window. Then turn the control wheel to one of the remote settings. On the right-hand side, you will see a picture of the user's manual page from the two cameras, showing you which controls to manipulate and which picture to set so that you get the operation you want when you need to use a remote. So now that the camera's set up and the remote's powered up and set up, what do you have to do? Well, not to be repetitive, but it couldn't be more simple. It's just simply a switch. Well, two actually. There are two buttons on the top. One is marked S, and it's designed to take a single shot. Like the shutter release on your camera, hold it halfway down, and the camera will autofocus if that feature is turned on your camera. Depress it all the way, and it'll shoot the picture hands-free so long as the remote is pointed at the camera sensor. It's effective from 10 to 30 feet, but I would not count on it being reliable for anything more than about 15 feet. The button marked 2S works identically, but provides a 2-second delay before taking the picture. This allows the mirror in the viewfinder to flip up out of the way and the camera to steady itself before the shutter cycles. That steadying actually provides a more calm camera when you're taking very intricate photography such as astrophotography or macrophotography that requires a very, very still picture. The three buttons on the bottom are for Canon's point and shoot cameras. There's only a single shot option because there's no mirror to flip out of the way, and the W and T keys are there for operation of the zoom feature. They are not used on a Canon DSLR camera. Note, the remote feature is not meant to be used with the video function in the camera. It is assumed a videographer needs to be in control of the camera at all times, and using a remote would make that a complex matter. This is a copy of the instructions that come with the RC4. A lot of people have had a lot of trouble understanding them. As you can see, they're on one sheet of paper, and they actually cover the RC4, the RC6, and the RC7 remote controls. They're very simplistic, and they're really not that hard to follow if you understand your camera, but many people have struggled to understand them, and that's the point of this video, to try and put some sense to these instructions through some further explanation. Together, they should be useful in answering all of your questions. But if not, feel free to ask me here on YouTube. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. If you'd like to see more videos of this nature from me, or if you have any questions regarding this unit, please feel free to ask them on YouTube, and I'll be happy to help you with anything I can in the use and operation of your Canon and the accessory equipment that goes with it. Thank you.